years before the events in The Elder Scrolls IV Oblivion and The Elder Scrolls V Skyrim. The Elder Scrolls Online lets you take part in the stories set within the compelling history and deep lore of the Elder Scrolls franchise. Designed to be played exactly the way you want to play, you can start wherever you like. With no level restrictions and no subscription required, this massive world is yours to explore, alone or with friends. Choose a favorite location or storyline and jump in. From the capital cities of the Three Alliances to the magical Somerset Isles. From the Khajiit territory of Elsewhere to Morrowind, the home of the Dark Elves. From frozen Skyrim in the north to the endless swamps of Blackmarsh, adventure is everywhere. Are you ready to forge your own legend? Options for creating and personalizing characters in the Elder Scrolls Online are almost without limit. Choose from 9 different character races, the 10th race option available as an add-on. Select from 6 unique classes and customize them to fill exactly the role you want to play. Want to create a high elf sorcerer who wears heavy armor and wields dual daggers for close quarters combat? Why not? Or maybe a red guard dragon knight who prefers light armor and a bow. It's completely up to you. Earn skill points as you adventure across Tamriel to improve your character. Then master and customize your skills to match your style of play. As you explore the world, keep an eye out for sky shards. For every 3 of these rare crystals you collect, you earn a bonus skill point to spend on your character. The in-game skill advisor provides recommendations on how to best spend your points at each level, based on the different roles available to your character. And you can always reset your skills and reallocate your points whenever you visit a major city, so you can build and play the exact character you imagine. Go anywhere, anything. That's freedom presented in the Elder Scrolls Online. Game scales your character to the content, so explore any dark cave or mysterious forest that intrigues you. Adventure on your own, or with friends, even if those friends have wildly different levels or belong to different alliances. Dive into the rich and varied story content as a solo player, or join a group to take on the most dangerous dungeons and boss monsters in the world. During your character creation, select one of the 3 alliances competing for power in this era: the Daggerfall Covenant, the Ebonheart Pact, or the Aldmeri Dominion. Each alliance features a unique and compelling storyline, but your choice never precludes you from playing with friends of different alliances. The Elder Scrolls Online is designed so you can travel anywhere at any time, no matter your level or alliance. Tamriel is a dangerous place. When you cannot sneak or talk your way out of conflict, you have to fight. The Elder Scrolls Online features an action-based combat system, reminiscent of the classic Elder Scrolls games. Use your skills, special abilities, and a combination of light and heavy attacks to defend yourself and your allies while you obliterate your foes. Unleash powerful synergy attacks when fighting as part of a group, and use block and dodge to reduce damage and avoid enemy attacks. If you prefer sneaking to direct combat, you can use stealth to evade detection, get around obstacles, or even set yourself up to unleash a potent surprise attack. Even the best solo player needs a little help now and then. Use the Group and Activity Finder and the Friends list to team up with other players for a dungeon or other adventure. The Elder Scrolls Online community is extremely welcoming to new players and invites them to join in. Our players go out of their way to help new players and show them the ins and outs of adventuring in Tamriel. This is especially evident within player guilds, a great way to meet others and develop lasting relationships that enhance your game. Join a guild to trade resources, tackle group content, or simply chat about the latest revelation of lore. There are also in-game guilds your character can join to receive new skill options and special rewards. The Fighters Guild, the Mages Guild, the Dark Brotherhood, and the Thieves Guild are all accessible through story content. And for a real challenge, join the Undaunted and earn a unique skill line and extra rewards for tackling group dungeons. Dungeons present some of the most difficult and dangerous content available in the Elder Scrolls Online. From the small dungeon delves that challenge solo players, to group dungeons that require 4 players to take on, to the ultimate 12-person trials. These strange and wondrous places offer amazing visuals, complex battles, and compelling opponents unlike anything else in the game. Once your character reaches 10th level and you have a better understanding of the game, The Elder Scrolls Online gives you the option to participate in a variety of player versus player, or PvP, content. Duels offer a more intimate PvP experience, where you can test your skills or try out a new character build in one-on-one combat against another player. Battlegrounds present short, intense combat as 4-person teams take on 15-minute battles to earn achievements, experience, and special rewards. Alliance wars are large-scale battles where the 3 alliances fight for control of the imperial capital of Cyrodiil. With siege weapons and massive armies, fight to capture and defend keeps and win the day. While you adventure and explore, don't forget to collect the valuable resources you find scattered throughout the world. These items can be used to craft weapons, armor, food, potions, and accessories that you can use to improve or further customize your character. Develop your skills in one or more professions and improve them by completing specialized crafting writs. The professions include alchemy, blacksmithing, enchanting, clothing, woodworking, provisioning, and jewelry crafting. The Elder Scrolls Online provides players with the ability to own and personalize homes for their characters all across Tamriel. Homes can be acquired by completing quests, purchased through the Crown Store, or bought with in-game gold. Houses consist of single-room abodes to multi-chambered mansions. But nothing beats the opulence or grandeur of a manor house, complete with luxury accommodations for your character and up to 24 guests. Home ownership doesn't end there. Craft furnishings and accessories to personalize, improve, and decorate your home. There's never been a better moment to jump in and start playing the Elder Scrolls Online. With access to a multitude of adventures all across the width and breadth of Tamriel, and the freedom to play wherever and however you like. It's time to begin your Elder Scrolls story.
Thanks, Maribel. Welcome to ESO News. Hopefully you guys are having a good drive and a good day. Going to be looking into some stuff as there's some problems inside of the system, and I kind of always have to go in and explain, hey, we need to do this. Let's do this so we can move forward. Hopefully you guys are understanding, as you might be involved in something else or multiple things throughout life that are going on here today. This is some great stuff. I'm not going to try to go outside of the ESO realm. You kind of understand what I'm saying? I'm not going to try to communicate outside of Elder Scrolls things. And that's what I'm going to try to do here today, to explain the best of what's going on, because there have been some things that have been going on that are just not working, and there's just some people that are not supposed to go into certain places. and they keep on going into those certain places. What I'm getting at is there's something that I'm not getting that I'm supposed to. And so what I'm going to have to actually explain, I have to explain sometimes, I have to explain outside agencies of Elder Scrolls in order for the point to get across to whether it's your mind or whether it's a person you know that is going into places they shouldn't be. This is something I don't like talking about and discussing. What I the reason why I'm here is to present the different facets of Elder Scrolls. I'm not here to chastise different people that are doing those things that they're not supposed to. This is just things that I'm seeing that is not working, and what we have to do is we have to move forward. As you just see, the Elder Scrolls Online available now, along with some other writings such as the ElderScrollsOnline.com main website. There's many websites that Elder Scrolls has, and so what I'm explaining in this form, this is all we have. Do you guys in Elder Scrolls as players understand this? This is all that we have. You're like, well, wait, we have a lot more. Of course, we have a lot more, but there are some problems going on, and so the good thing for you guys to get into your game, if you have not logged into your game already, you guys will be receiving an instant all research scroll. It's going to be a great thing. The problem is that we have our screens that are not functioning because of certain things that have come in. So I have to explain this on this form here. Go leading in over onto x.com. This is a great thing. There's just been a new user that has come in. We have superseded the system. Those of you that are following along, this is a great thing, a great experience, and a great growth for x.com. But for right now, what I have to explain is the current problem that we're having. Last night, there was about a half gigabyte increased memory in ESO that is part of the online community that moves us further in how our ESO online connections function. What I'm explaining with that, if you don't understand that, I'll explain a little bit more about what the actual problem is. It's not a problem that we have increased memory. However, there are obligations when these memories are actually increased inside of the system. These things have to function and they have to be paid. So what I'm explaining is those of you guys just going into a place in ESO, you guys have to learn that you have to pay for those little tools that actually make the system function. With about a half of a gigabyte memory increase, I think it was about 466 megabytes that was actually increased here last night. What had happened is there is some screen problems that are happening for us in ESO. So what I'm going to explain here on that end is I'm going to explain the thing about screenshots. And so going further on, hopefully you guys are having happy Fredos. This is a good thing. I don't know if this is the actual screenshot that, and this is not the screenshot, but I'm going to show this screenshot for the purpose of what's going on. As you can see in here, this is a game screenshot. Okay, so hopefully you understand what a game screenshot is. The actual picture on the inside of one of the main systems in ESO. This right here, the picture here with Redlia, which she shows the daily login rewards. that you guys see every day. Well, this is not functioning properly. What I'm talking about in the picture mechanism is not functioning properly in the full pictures. We have to have the buttons actually function. And so what I'm explaining, there is a difference in live and pre-recorded information. We have to go further into understanding. And so if you're going to look into the live aspect of ESO, you have to stay with the live aspect of ESO. If you're just looking into the pre-recorded ESO information, that's what you have to stay with. And if you're a neither, you have to stay completely out of ESO. Looking in here of what I'm talking about with the screenshot, it's just not sharing information. What I'm explaining is one of the buttons has been disturbed inside of the system. And so what I have to explain is that we cannot take screenshots to share with people, such as the screenshot right in here of Redlia with the guild here that's available. This is just one guild that's available inside of ESO Online Winter Snell. This is a great thing for those of you guys that are gearing and wishing to have been dreaming of getting in a guild. Get into Daggerfall Covenant. Go into Steam or Xbox. You can sign up and become a guild member inside of Winter Snell. It's an awesome thing. So what I'm talking about, not only the guilds have to grow, but what I'm talking about is the screenshots have to actually function to where we can present the game screenshots if that's necessary. Currently, that is not functioning. So what I'm talking about, this is kind of what I see like with people when a memory increase comes in, they go to that mentality of like, that's the problem. That's the problem. The increased update is the problem, but not entirely so. What I'm explaining with the update, the updates that ESO Online gives is for the purpose of fixing bugs and any known issues. There are issues within ESO, and what I'm explaining with the current issue is the screenshot button is not functioning. Our actual screen button is not functioning. And so what I'm talking about is there's no other way in on the controller to where we can share a screenshot because there's all of the information has already been taken up. Now, when we increase memory in updates, what does that involve? Well, that involves a lot of things, and this goes further into outside agencies of Elder Scrolls. In a big event such as that is happening today, that I'm referencing an outside agency that's going on currently, where in live information you can't piggyback information from another source, such as another site. If they are communicating something live, such as in an event, and you're piggybacking that information, you're taking that information from another source. Sometimes that's not such an entirely that's not a problem. The problem is if you're not paying, if you have not paid a setup cost, or if you're not paying a monthly fee, that's like you're scalping inside of the system. That's something that is not understood, and I'm not going to explain that much further. What I'm explaining is that the screenshot button has to work. What I'm talking about with the screenshot button is that I tried to put the screenshot button in another place earlier this morning. However, I couldn't get that done because what I'm talking about in the live aspect of you guys seeing things like this, seeing like moving objects like an arm, you can't see that currently. That's how serious the issue is, that the issue that's going on right now. We cannot get the game screenshots to produce inside of Steam, for example. And what I'm explaining in Steam is that Steam is a major part of ESO Online, and with us not having the ability to share a screenshot currently, that is bad news. That is literally bad news because that goes further into the actual playing of the game of Elder Scrolls Online. That's what I'm explaining how serious the issue is. We can try to move around the like where we can press the button for like sharing the screenshot. What I'm talking about with the importance of having the buttons work is that there is no extra space to actually working to and going back to the the same button mechanism that actually produces the game screenshot. That's what we have to do, and that's the majority of the time. That's what the company does. Goes right back to where the original button design was placed. It's like in computer programming. That's what has to be done. If somebody that is not known, or somebody that decides to go into the programs and try to switch over something that nobody knows about, that gives us all sorts of problems. If that's the case with this, where the actual game screenshot button has been changed on us in a different location of the coding language. That's literally what I'm talking about. The coding language has been transferred transferred somewhere, or has been erased. And what we have to do is we have to learn from the system. There's a couple of different places in the Steam controllers that you guys can actually reprogram inside. I'll try to explain this the best I can, but there's bad news in what's going on, because there's not much we can do with the button that has been disturbed. The actual button that has been disturbed is the basic end times button functionality within devices. Inside of Steam controllers, those are advanced gaming controllers, to where we can produce these types of things. When these things are actually transferred, when somebody goes in and transfers those files into a different location, that goes inside of the internal memories of our devices, whether it's Xbox, PlayStation, or Steam. Those of you guys in Xbox and PlayStation don't have to worry about the coding language, because it's already been pre-programmed. Over in Steam, it's a little different part of the system. It's its own system in of itself. That's a beautiful thing about some of the different consoles and technology, and this is one of those things that is happening, to where we have to go back to the original design, where the original button was placed. So what the company's going to have to do is going to have to reprogram into the original design to where the button was last night. However, what had happened, I'm not for sure exactly what had happened, but I do know there's certain things that do happen while these things are being placed. While the update was being updated, there was about a half of a gigabyte of memory that was coming in. So there's new things that have come into the program. However, we have to explain these things when there are issues. And there's an issue with sharing the screenshot currently with the daily login rewards. How are you guys gonna know what the daily login rewards are if these types of things aren't functioning? You guys have to see these types of things in order to live. That's what I'm explaining, how important it is for us to have to be able to go back in. And so, going further, I'm gonna start here over in x.com and take a really quick break and go off of the screen. Hopefully, you guys are learning about more about Elder Scrolls and the important thing that our way of life. We have to grow, and so basically, do your part to where you get the program working. I'll be right back. Not really. I'm going to take a break, but what I have to explain is that that there were some major things that had happened here last night and this morning. There's an issue inside of Steam to where the screen is not functioning properly. What I'm explaining in our in the main in your main gameplay that you play when you actually log into your Steam console, you'll know what I'm talking about by the screen being messed up. Um, with not being able to share a screenshot. What I'm explaining with the screen you see in here, okay, and this, for example, this is x.com. Okay, for example, this is the mass population site that you see in x.com. And what I'm going to do here really quick to show you guys what I'm talking about, which is happening in Steam, is the of what I'm talking about, where the difference between analog and digital. In x.com, this is the digital presentation of x.com. Now, what I'm going to show you here real quick, what is kind of considered the analog side to x.com, which this will help us out further for what was being seen in Steam earlier. So I'm gonna make a quick picture of what kind of was seen when this was happening. This is really kind of odd. So I'm just gonna go in here to this picture right here. Okay, so this is a really good good thing. This is a picture that I've done over and over and over and over again. This is a really fun thing to see with Elder Scrolls, being part of Elder Scrolls Online. So what I'm talking about here is the Steam, the individual something here about Steam. So wait, we're supposed to be talking about x.com. Oh, yes. So okay, so I'm just going to put x.com, but this is really about Steam. So you kind of understand what I'm saying. I'm kind of bringing out a lot of information. So does that look like X? Yeah. You might think of like in the Alliance War, if you're if you're not going into the new chapter of Gold Road, you might be like, yeah. I'm going to the mine, and we will take out the 3 lumber yards that are in there. Hey, if you haven't checked out Fort Alicewell, there have been some new developments in there. There's 2 new fire pits as you enter in. Once you destroy the front door of Fort Alicewell, everyone likes to everyone likes to go in and throw fireballs or lightning rods at the door. When you do open up Fort Alicewell, you'll see something new. You'll see 2 new fire pits as those of you guys either in Aldermary Dominion or Ebonheart Pact. When you take over the fort in Fort Alicewell, you'll see the 2 fire pits. It's absolutely beautiful. If you haven't gone in there already, this is a great thing. And over here in X, as you can see, this is the internal side of x.com, for example. What I'm talking about on the internal side, what are like the screenshot sharing, I'm gonna show you kind of what I'm talking about on the internal side of a computer. The internal side of a computer is not really that beautiful. It's just plain information. It's just numbers and letters. It's really crappy when you can't see, when when the internal side of the computers are not functioning, in which Steam consoles, these are not functioning yet. Now, this might be getting done right away, which Steam fixes this right away, just as much as X.com is going to fix any malfunctions that you see in X.com. So what I'm explaining with you guys seeing this, look at what this means. This is the example Elder Scrolls Online page for X.com, for example. Do you understand what I'm saying? This is X.com. However, this is the internal side of X.com. Do you understand? Hopefully, you're comprehending what I'm saying here. You see this picture, for example, okay? You see it. You see X, but you see that this is the imaginary X.com. Do you understand what I'm saying now? You see the picture. This is what is happening, that has happened in the recent past in the Steam consoles, where we see um, just letters. And then blah 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 blah. Whatever the okay, I like HP. So we've got. If you don't catch on, I kind of like HP. And I'll just use the daily login rewards as an example here. DLR, daily login rewards. So this is the kind of the example of what was being seen, like as the screenshot from what I had to do inside of Steam here earlier. I was trying to share the screenshot. So I programmed the controller again, which on occasion I have to program them over and over and over again. And so this is what this looked like. You get these different like file things that nobody actually understands. This is the information inside of the internal side of Steam, of the Steam console. However, the picture is not able to be shown. Now, what I'm going to explain here of what the picture that is supposed to be shown is pictures like this. Right over here where you see Redlia and the information off of the game screenshot. The actual button was misplaced somehow. I don't know why the button was misplaced, but what's going to have to happen is the original place, the original design has to be reprogrammed. Hopefully you guys understand that. That's some important information to actually understand. So I'm going to go back here to the drawing board here before we get back over into the literal site of X.com. Hopefully you guys are understanding of what's going on inside of Steam, to where this will help you, those of you guys either in Xbox or PlayStation, in Elder Scrolls Online. I'll be right back. Just got back in. Hopefully, you guys are enjoying your drive and your day. Some of this information. This is some technical information. Most of the stuff you don't want to get involved with. This is sensitive information, and when you're writing down information, you can't piggyback information from what somebody actually writes. You have to pay for the information that's being brought forth to you. That's what I'm explaining in this segment. You've got to pay for the information that's provided. Gonna go over to x.com here and look into ESO Online. This is the transformation process of what I'm talking about, of getting the game screenshots and the moving animations living in, living cells, having those living cells working. What I'm explaining with robots, the purpose of robots is so they help us, they better our lives. And what I'm talking about in computer programming language is we program those things, and there's only a certain amount of people that do these types of things. And so what I'm explaining, when this information is imparted to you, you can easily type some information, whether it shows live on X, messages, you can write profile. You just cannot transmit information off of your hand. I'm going to explain this here really quick of what I'm explaining in this segment. Right here on the internal side of the board is where this shows the Elder Scrolls Online X and the example file name that has been written. We can't actually write in a perfect thing unless we type the pre-programmed letters or characters in, so we can see these types of things. So what I'm explaining over here in x.com is the important thing of seeing the things come out from ESO Online. This is an important thing. We saw yesterday, the fair winds. That's a great thing to quite possibly getting involved with. What I'm going to do here is make sure that I am logged in to ESO Online, and we're going to check out the 4 set items that are available. Some of this information is understood, and some of this information is not understood. So what's going to have to happen is that the information is going to have to be paid for. Log in here to ESO Online, and then every little bit and pieces of information has to be paid. So what I want you guys to do is I want you to choose on which 4 set item you're going to pay. So the first up is the Rhyme Wolf. And it's taking a while for Rhyme Wolf to get in. Camaralto Moon Biscuit. Ding 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 ding. Now, whether you're a ESO member or a non-ESO member, you're beginning to be an ESO member. You've got to pay in order to be a member. You can't just look into a site and then say, "Hey, I'm a member. I'm part of a online community." But yet, if you don't pay, you're not truly an actual member. So you've got to learn that you have to actually pay for these types of information. And Rhyme Wolf got in there. How cute. So going to get further, see if there's more information on the Rhyme Wolf. Rhyme Wolf is available for you guys that are non-ESO members for 4,000 crowns. For those of you that are ESO members, is available for 3,200 crowns. The next set item up is the Quasi-Griff, the mystical Quasi-Griff. And the Quasi-Griff, this is a great thing. If you haven't seen the Quasi-Griff, Quasi-Griff isn't a real popular character. However, the Quasi-Griff is a good character. Will give you something to ride around on in the game. And also, what I want to explain the joy and the growth in X.com, as you see here, I pinpointed it to where like 70 and the number 77. Here yesterday, I put it down to where it was 77 following and 77 followers. Today we have 77 following and 78 followers. This is called growth, and you guys will definitely see this is just one account that has come in. That's the important thing. We're above now. Do you understand what I'm saying? This is a great thing. Might not mean much to some people, but when there's an above amount, you know we're growing. This is a beautiful thing, seeing X.com grow to where we'll be able to grow later on if you're over in Facebook, X.com, or Tumblr.com. Those are the three major communication sites throughout the world. And so what I'm explaining with the need for us to actually grow in these sites, this is a great thing for X.com, how the accounts are actually growing. This is truly the actual site that I'm seeing that's actually growing. And that's a beautiful thing to actually see throughout the internet. It's a scary thing when you start an account and you're like, hey, I have nobody like no backing. So you put in a bunch of other people that you think, hey, I'm connected, but you're not really connected, like with if you don't have an overage, and that does take some time. Turn around to Moon Biscuit, and the Quasi-Griff probably wants a Moon Biscuit. The Quasi-Griff's not so spectacular. However, the Quasi-Griff will give you something to ride around on in the game if you're not getting a Rhyme Wolf. You gotta get something today, whether it's the Quasi-Griff or the Rhyme Wolf or the other set items that are part of the Crown Store in ESO Online. The mystical Quasi-Griff. What you guys are going to have to do is you have to have 2,500 crown gems and or 16,000 seals of endeavor. How are you going to be able to get that? This right here of what I'm explaining with the crown gems and the seals of endeavor, you have to pay money. If you're putting in just credit, that's not actually going to completely grow the system. That will grow the system a little bit if you are putting credit into ESO Online, but that's truly not growing the system in ESO Online. When you just put credit in, you're just typing in some information with your hands. You're not actually paying literal money if you're putting credit in. You have to understand that. I'm not even joking. Credit is good in some form, but when it comes down to having debit, you have to have debit in order to help the system grow. And so what I'm talking about, you've got to pay. you got to pay a monthly fee. The monthly fees are right around $15 a month. Getting in there and getting a mystical quasigriff is going to take you a lot longer rather than getting one of the other set items that's available in the Crown Store for literal money. So what I'm talking about, get yourself in line and actually grow in the system. Pay for some of the items so you can actually grow. Don't you see X.com growing? Going from just one account, that can speak for many. Like when we're going above, yeah, that is truly a growth within the system. And so going further on, I'm going to be looking at the Aether Tempered Mystic. Kind of went through the lore history of the Tempered Mystics. It looks like the Mystics are part, or used to be part, of the Magus Guild, and they were little guinea pigs, and they've kind of evolved into their character of their own. And the Aether Mystics are available for 400 crown gems and or 8,000 seals of endeavor. So what I'm talking about, like if you're paying credit or if you're paying debit, you've got to pay in some form. And so over with credit, there's only so much you can do inside of the system if you're paying just with credit. Over time, you're gonna get bit if you don't pay in some form of a debit. I'm not the bearer of bad news. I'm just telling you how it is. Oh, Tamarill to Moon Biscuit. All right, Tempered Mystic. You want a Moon Biscuit? I'm sure you probably do want a Moon Biscuit. And the last item that is coming in is the Fair Winds. We're looking into that, and what I've heard is that with the Fair Winds, you guys will be able to drive around in the boathouse that you'll be getting here later on if you decide to get to buy yourself the Fair Winds. That's an expensive item. The Fair Winds is without any furnishings. The Fair Winds is available for 14,000 crowns. I think with the furnishings, it's right around a little under 18,000 crowns. That does cost some money. So what I'm explaining, those of you either in Xbox, PlayStation, or Steam, you want to at least have $100 to where you're going to put into the Fair Winds. Emerald Moon Biscuit. This is a great thing, seeing the 4 set items like available on X.com. This is a great thing. This isn't going to make us a whole lot of money, but this is going to make us some money, and learning some more information about these set items is going to help us grow. Now, what I'm talking about in the Fair Winds and the difference between the Fair Winds and the Quasigriff. The Quasigriff is more of an internal side of ESO Online, where I guess the Fair Winds is more of like the external side of ESO Online. It does. Hopefully that makes a little bit more sense. Like we actually pay for the fair winds, but we really aren't paying for the quasi griff. Do you kind of understand what I'm saying? The quasi griff, you have to go more on the inside of the system, working with the things like Seals of Endeavor and the Crown Gems. With the fair winds, this is an easy sell. This is an easy buy. What I'm talking about is the fair winds. You have to pay real money. And so, what I'm suggesting for those of you guys that are going to get the fair winds here in the future, pay with your bank account and with the fair winds, so you can actually get the fair winds. Pay the boathouse, because that'll pay off later on. If not, that will pay you right away. What I'm saying is, by us paying the fair winds, that's going to help us all grow that are playing ESO online. When we buy the fair winds, we might not have like all of the bells and whistles, but this is the process of where we will get the bells and whistles. That's the important thing to understand. Hopefully, you guys are enjoying your drive, and I've kind of spoken everything that I can think of that's needed. Hopefully, you guys get the fair winds soon. This looks like a really good addition to ESO Online. This has just come in yesterday. The fair winds is looking really good. Are we going to be able to build some of those cell winds inside of the fair winds? That's yet to be seen. Once we get the fair winds, we'll be able to see what the fair winds does. Don't exploit what the fair winds does if you have already bought the fair winds. This is going to be some sweet stuff when this actually gets out into the game and we have this fully paid. This is a really good thing. The fair winds is right around $100. So just to let you know, if you go over into PlayStation, just like Xbox, sometimes there's discounts available for you guys. It's not much of a discount, but some things do help, and that's a great thing. So right now, currently, the boat is available non-furnished for 14,000 crowns, whereas you're going to be spending right around under 18,000 crowns if you're looking to get the boathouse furnished. What I'm going to do when I actually buy the Fairwinds, I'm going to buy the Fairwinds as a furnished product for the purpose. When I had bought Sweetwater Cascades, I had bought the house unfurnished, and from past experience from that, what has to happen is we have to buy things furnished in order for the products to actually permanently stay in and to where we can buy in the future. With me buying Sweetwater Cascades unfurnished, I still replicated Sweetwater Cascades. However, Sweetwater Cascades is no longer for sale. And so what I'm talking about with us buying the Fairwinds furnished, that will actually permanently place the Fairwinds in ESO Online. That's going to give us a backing to where in the future, if somebody comes in and becomes an ESO member, they can buy the Fairwinds in the future. Hopefully, you see what I'm talking about, and you're having a good drive. You're learning a lot more about Elder Scrolls. Hopefully, you get into the Fairwinds here someday. I'll be right back. Hope you guys are enjoying your drive. This is a beautiful thing to see the system growing. The online communities are really growing. Thank you guys so much for helping out in X.com. I know it was a little confusing when Twitter had switched over to X.com. I think this is the best thing for the internet. Like with switching over from Twitter over to X.com, we can't screw with the word. We can't mess with the word when it involves like different pages. There's a limited amount of pages like where you're trying to get involved. If you're trying to communicate a message in a certain area, you have to communicate the certain pieces of information in the direct place that you're working on. I'm just using Napa as an example. If you're talking about Napa, you're talking about vehicle parts just as much as now. Think if you're thinking about ESO, you're thinking about Elder Scrolls things. So what are you going to think about when when the segment is finished? Well, most people they think of like, well, what are we going to eat later on tonight, or what are we going to do? Are we going to look back on what was said or what was written? That's some good stuff, like looking at some stuff later on down the road about what's going on. And so what I'm looking at is an avenue because there's one spot within the company that can that another site can be put in on live for live streaming. That's an important thing. I put some stuff on over on Facebook. However, the company had explained how they wanted over at least 100 friends in the friend list in Facebook being put in there. That there was about, I think, like 94. There's like 94, 95 friends in the Facebook list. But what I'm explaining is we want to know how we're going to be able to grow. And what I'm talking about over in Xbox X.com is the important thing of us being able to grow. Just having one over, that gives us the indication that X.com is growing. So this is a good thing to look forward to in other sites on such as Tumblr or Facebook. How we can actually more effectively communicate in those sites on certain things, specifically of Elder Scrolls, because Elder Scrolls to me is an important part of society and in the media outlets throughout the entire internet. X.com is just one communication site for the internet. X.com is an important media outlet for people to learn within the system of Elder Scrolls. And so hopefully you guys can learn that if you're not specifically just playing. If you're just playing Elder Scrolls, you're like, oh, okay, well, we'll watch a little bit on what this actually is. So what's the fair winds? Oh well, don't know much about the fair winds because the fair winds just came in. So what do we have to do? We have to look further into what the fair winds is. Is this going to help us out in the new chapter of Gold Road, or is this going to help us out in another chapter of Elder Scrolls? Yeah, that's exactly what the fair winds is. This will help us out not only in the new chapter but in another chapter if we choose to go into another chapter. This is a great thing to look into. So what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to look at the aspect of either Facebook or Tumblr. I really would like to put Facebook back on live streaming, but I don't see the growth there specifically because all of the people on the friends list of Facebook, I don't know if they're really into playing Elder Scrolls. So what I have to explain is maybe possibly going over and into another Facebook page, putting that in there. But we're going to have at least 100 people watching at a time, such as in ESO News. That's the important part. So I'm going to look at a page here really quick on here in Facebook and in one of my Facebook accounts. Let's see here. Okay. I don't know how these how the followers or the friend lists or the subscribers. I don't know how that works. But what I do know is I want to grow within Elder Scrolls, and so that's the important thing. Over in Facebook, looking into Facebook, I don't see how many people are following. Like over in your regular Facebook page, most people have been on Facebook before. However, how do we know in an external page of Facebook? How do we know how many people are actually following? I don't see the here in Facebook of what I'm looking at. Okay, so Facebook, we call it on the pages like on Elder Scrolls page, Facebook calls it followers. And so I'm looking at it here in one of the Elder Scrolls pages that I have up is there's only 2 followers. There's 0 likes, but there's no real backing to look at. Not that that's a terrible and bad thing, but however we need like solid information, knowing that there's at least a steady number of people. When you look at like more major sites, you're like, how many followers do they have? If there's like 2.5 million followers, you don't know what kind of people are looking in or who's going to be writing what or whatnot. That's another thing to not want to think about of what I'm thinking about. So what I'm thinking about is over in Tumblr. That looks like a fairly good avenue because I'm not seeing the in over on Facebook for live streaming. What I do see that it's not that the live streaming is not possible. It's just I'm not seeing the in for the live streaming. Those over on Facebook can go over into Twitch or into YouTube and watch one of those channels very easily. And getting the entire group available to watching a live segment, that's an important thing to me, like showing, or like not only showing Elder Scrolls, but also hoping that the whole group as a whole will be able to grow from seeing the live segments of the different things that are involved with Elder Scrolls. I try to explain everything that I do know about Elder Scrolls. However, like when these things, if the number people count is not actually to where the company is actually asking for a certain amount of numbers, if those numbers are not in there, I'm not seeing it with the company. I'm just not. And so what I'm going to explain is I'm going to kind of look over into the possibility of over in Tumblr as an avenue for the live streaming. Tumblr, if you're not aware much about Tumblr, Tumblr's a great place. Those of you guys that are getting involved in X.com, stay in X.com. You'll really like it here in X.com. I'm just kind of speaking about for the future of a different outlet to where Elder Scrolls is going to be seen. This is an important thing, seeing the growth as the numbers have just come in. So this is an important thing to understand. like a related piece for another communication site. Now I'm going to explain Tumblr here in a little bit about what I'm talking about with the number counts for us to where we can see and we can believe. That's an important thing to understand. Over in Tumblr, I'm not for sure how that exactly works just yet, but I am kind of leaning towards putting the live streaming of this segment over in Tumblr. If you kind of understand what I'm saying, it's going to be a custom type of thing. I'm not seeing the growth in Facebook, just specifically. I'm going to look here at my personal account here really quick of how many actual friends there are in Facebook. There's the number 95 friends that are in the Facebook account. However, we're not seeing the asked amount for the people like showing like that are quite possibly would be watching. It's most likely over in Facebook in the like a personal side. If there's not over 100 people, not all of the 100 friends are going to be watching at the same time. Quite possibly would be, but most likely not. And so I'm going to go further on looking into Tumblr a little bit. And this is involving Elder Scrolls Online. This is the only thing that we have for Elder Scrolls Online in Tumblr. I'll show you kind of what I'm talking about. This is the sucky part of what I'm talking about. Tumblr is a wonderful site for communicating the different things. How we're going to be able to grow, that's going to be a great thing to see here coming up. Let's see here. Well, this is just the this is Elder Scrolls Online Tumblr that's being looked at right now. Let's see here. This is okay. This is the Elder Scrolls Online Tumblr. And what I'm explaining here of where the company had asked having at least 100 friends. Look at it over here on the Elder Scrolls Online Tumblr. There is only one follower. That's basically that's only one friend is what I'm saying. This information, this goes over into what the pages over in Elder Scrolls Online Facebook and Elder Scrolls Online X.com actually does. This is the same information that you guys see if you are a Facebook user, or the same type of information you see if you're over in X.com. The important thing here of what I'm showing is we could put a live segment in here. However, I'm not seeing the in right here in the Elder Scrolls Online Tumblr. However, I am seeing the in on possibility of over in another account in Tumblr. So what I'm going to explain is I'm looking at putting in the live segment over in a place in Tumblr. And so that's going to be a really, really fun thing. If you don't know anything about Tumblr and you're looking to get into a site, what I'm explaining is Tumblr has went through a recent process of going from having live streaming available in personal accounts to where Tumblr switched over to the live aspect over in Meet Me, the site there, meetme.com. That's the important thing to understand of how Tumblr actually works. You guys want to understand that the live aspect has switched over to Meet Me, to where what I'm going to do is I'm going to try to input the live streaming over on a Tumblr account. It's going to be a custom thing. It's a technical term, and I I don't understand what all that the technical. It's like a RTMP or something like RTMP code or something like that. So with that, that looks like that's the end for looking into if you are a Tumblr user. If you're looking in over on YouTube right now, or if you're looking in over on Twitch, then that's kind of the point of getting a live segment in a site that's important to you. I find both Facebook, X.com, and Tumblr.com equally the same in importance because they're major communication sites. These are the things that we need in order to be able to live. And so what I'm talking about with having a live segment inside a Tumblr, it's kind of hard to explain without having knowledge. And so what I'm talking about with Tumblr has basically switched over to meet me in the live aspect, to where you guys will kind of see here in Tumblr in a little bit later on in the future that hopefully the live segment in a place will be available. Currently not, because I haven't inputted the information just yet. But once that does get put in, that should be available. I was hoping that Facebook would be able to have the live aspect once again, but I'm not feeling the live aspect for Facebook. If you kind of understand what I'm talking about, it's like pulling teeth when you there's 95 friends on the friend list. It's pulling teeth trying to get people to just press a button. If we just go in and stay in one site and concentrate on one site, that will actually really produce some really good growth for those of you that are looking into just going into and being and staying in one site. That's an important thing of what I consider over in X.com, of staying in one site. It's the same mentality of owning a gaming console, such as an Xbox, a PlayStation, or a Steam console. You want to stay in one place, and so that's the thing that I'm actually communicating. So when the information is available for those of you guys over in Tumblr seeing the live aspect of ESO news, this will give you guys an in for those of you guys that are going to move over to Tumblr and seeing the live aspect and getting the live information from what's being communicated from ESO Online. That's the information that I'm communicating right now. I can barely speak. Hopefully, you guys have learned a little bit more about Elder Scrolls, as I'm getting very tired. Hopefully, if you're a baseball fan, hopefully you have been getting into the baseball games here today. If you haven't watched the game already, uh, looks like the second game has just started here about little under an hour ago, as when the second game just started. So I am drawing sleepy. So hopefully you guys are learning a lot. I'm gonna take a quick break, and I will be right back. All right, I am back. Hopefully, you guys are having a really good drive and a good day. I just caught wind of what I'm thinking here. It's a great thing. Think about it. What's going on in ESO news during the day? And thinking of X.com. But now look what this happens in the nighttime when there's a live segment of Elder Scrolls going on. Just gonna say Tumblr's right here. Bam, 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 bam. Look, there's information about Xbox. Down in the Elder Scrolls Online Tumblr, look at this. There's more information about the new chapter that's coming in. Huh? Is this making sense? There's American Climate Leadership Award that's going on. It has nothing to do with Elder Scrolls. And we have more information about one of the DLCs in the new chapters, Scions of Athelia. Information with Oathsworn Pit and Bedlam Vel. So this is this is some great stuff. Going in here, looking at here, this is some PC and console groups that have completed the Scions of Athelia trifecta achievements. And so going in there, they completed this on veteran hard mode. Congratulations to you, Bit Hopper. My name is Elias. Easy mode and Shikai 13. Once again, congratulations for those of you that are in the PC and console groups. Over here, as you can kind of see the point here, if I were doing this during the nighttime, looks like this is a good set to go off of over in Tumblr. This is not going to be the specific account that's being shown live as this is being shown live right now. But what I'm talking about is having a set. And so what I'm talking about over in X.com, we look at the 4 set items in the Crown Store of ESO Online. Over in the nighttime, this is the gearing for the nighttime of what can be presented. This is an end I can see that I really see over for Tumblr, where this will be a good information to where we can get people count. Getting you guys into Elder Scrolls, whether it's Elder Scrolls Online or a different game series in Elder Scrolls, once you guys actually get a game series of Elder Scrolls, that gives me great joy to know that you guys are playing a certain game series, whether it's the first version, whether it's the third version, or whether it's the past version of Necrom. That brings me great joy if you guys hear something about a different game series in Elder Scrolls that you're playing it. When we have that information, look what this means. I don't specifically know those of you guys that are PC console groups, such as BitCopper. My name is Elias. IC mode or Shikai 13. I don't specifically know these guys. However, we kind of have the same mindset. You see what I'm saying? We want to actually grow in the game. Whatever game series that we're playing, there's multiple game series within Elder Scrolls, and looking at what we'll be doing in the nighttime for Tumblr, this is going to be a great thing. This is not going to be specifically over on me per se. This is going to be literally on the Tumblr site. This is an important thing, as I saw Meet Me go over to, or as I saw Tumblr switch over from Tumblr Live over into Meet Me. This is an important thing to bringing back the live segments for Tumblr. I find this important that we have a running site and an important communication site. Tumblr is one of the most important communication sites in the world, and so what I'm explaining is the need to having a live segment somewhere in Tumblr, whether it's over in something that I do in Tumblr, or whether it's more people that are doing things in Tumblr. I'm just not seeing the growth from just the posts in Tumblr and over in some of the other communication sites. I'm not seeing growth in just posting messages. Do you see what I'm saying? Same thing as in Tumblr.com, as in X.com, or in Facebook.com. Hopefully you guys are understanding that I'm not seeing a growth in just posting messages. By having a live segment in a site, that I'm seeing more growth to where we have more of like an understanding and a bonding within the online community of Elder Scrolls. As you can see, the bonding is being shaped by this post right here in the Elder Scrolls Online Tumblr with the DLC Scions of Athalia, with the PC console groups that have gone through the veteran hard mode. This is some hard stuff to do. I would go through it with you guys in a heartbeat if I was there with you. And so this is an important thing to understand. Hopefully you guys are enjoying your drive. I'm going to take a quick break. Hopefully you guys are getting ready for more for Elder Scrolls things. Tonight's game is going to be Hoquiam versus Aberdeen. Hope you guys are getting ready. What team are you going to be on tonight? I didn't go away just right away, but I did forget that this is the daytime, and cannot forget about the little old site called X.com. Look at this. This does take some time. It does take some time, and X.com is a really it is important. Very important. So I'm gonna leave that here right here. Hopefully you guys are enjoying your day. I'll be back here in a little bit later on tonight. Hopefully you guys have a rest a good day. Are you ready for the soap opera to begin?
More of the other betrayers approach. We have no time to waste with mortal nonsense. Warriors Miramu and fast against Mora's minions. The staff of many paths was never meant for mortal hands.
We are at a crossroads and must choose our path wisely.
The devastated area is spawning dangerous beasts. Someone needs to answer for all this.
Defend me, Miramu!